Yep, I just went live. Did you hear that?
Oh yeah.
Loud and clear.
Welcome to Talking Time with Caffeine, Season 6, Episode 23. Our first topic is breaking news.
What's so breaking about it?
What?
What's so breaking about it?
Well, it's 5 hours old at this point.
Okay.
Right.
But, at least for Sparrow's in chat right now. But,
Also, I'm going to be doing a little bit of my own experimenting with this here because I have 2 monitors. What?
Well,
You're
there goes
a
the 2
fan of
more.
the channel, huh? So, how is this possible that there's 0 people watching, yet he's in the chat? Oh, now it's this one. What the hell?
Wait, wouldn't it be 2 since you're in it?
I don't know. It's like freaking this Austin Memes person immediately comes into chat like as soon as the stream starts, and he puts "eat ass." Of course, I hit it.
That's
yeah,
not
he's a
funny.
troll. I'm not gonna waste my time with you.
anyways, hey Sparrow, are you in chat right now? Anyways, well, the big breaking news is today in the wrestling world, after 2 years, Bryan is back to the thing after he was retired because of a concussion 2 years ago. He's finally cleared again to wrestle again.
Yay. Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool.
What?
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he got a concussion or something 2 years ago. He had to retire, but I guess the concussion healed, or it's healed enough for him to get back into the
Wrestling
brain
again?
without having to damage his brain or something.
Well,
Yeah.
unless something bad happens to his skull again. Or, well, more so his brain, but you know.
Yeah. I don't know how bad. I guess the current top are concussions, I guess.
I had one. It wasn't that good. It was a bad time.
If anyone asked for me, I kind of took off there for a second because I had to rinse off my can. Had like soda residue on the top, and it was gross.
Cool. So, anyways, so Daniel Bryan is back to wrestling after 2 years of being gone after a concussion. So, and I guess our current topic right now is about concussions. So, Adam, have you had a concussion before, or know of somebody who's had a concussion?
I can't say I've had an experience I remember, but apparently when I was a really little kid, I was jumping on my parents' bed, and I guess I hit like a corner of a dresser or something. Had to go to the hospital.
Oh, no.
Yeah, apparently I busted my... Huh?
Yeah.
I
think I think I ever got a concussion, but I've hit my head. Change the topic real fast.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I think I've hit my head at work so many times, either accidentally or on purpose. On purpose is banging my head against the wall against some people's stupidity. Or here on my desk because of the stuff we see in the podcast. Talk about the podcast.
I've had, my mom actually had really bad head injury when she was young. I forget how old she was, but she was around like the 7 to like 12 years of age, like around that time. And apparently, she was jumping on the bed and she like tripped and she really messed up her head. It was really bad. And one of the things she recalls from that night is laying down in the car and seeing Batman. Yes, she was hallucinating about Batman while her head was busted open, and she saw him like walking across like the roofs of building or something like that. I don't know. Whatever happened, she went to the hospital and she had to get it fixed up.
I think I've seen spots before. Hit my head, like was all blurry and stuff.
I get that when I stand up and there's like my vision starts going really hazy and black and like spotty. Have you ever had that? Like,
not after concussion, but after I've coughed so much I can't hold my breath anymore. I'm just breathing really hard and stuff. It's like,
oh no, Schnick.
I'm trying to wake him up.
He's gonna have.
I dropped him from the call, and now I'm recalling him. He told me to do that if he fell asleep, and it looked like he did. So we'll see what happens.
A question: would you want? We all have our YouTube names on here. You want your YouTube name on the thing too, or you want your real name?
No, my YouTube name would be fine.
What's your YouTube name again?
Games for Us with a capital G and everything squashed together. So just Games for Us.
Oh, shit.
Apparently there's a store that opened up relatively recently. Titled Games.
Sorry, is it FOUR?
No, just FOR. Like Games for Us, like Toys for Us.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Also, yeah, I messed up when I was little. It's Toys R Us, but when I was little, I forgot the names of Toys R Us, and I decided to name my channel Games for Us instead of Games R Us. So,
good job.
Yep.
Sometimes it's little things.
But it's my channel name forever now, so.
I feel like
mine was.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, my channel was simple. It was just my city name with my graduation year. Hey, Snick. Welcome to the world of the living.
Okay.
Are you sick?
I was like last week.
I think he's more tired. Schnick, you think you're not going to make it through this podcast?
I mean, I might if you keep me interested.
Well, we're trying, but you kind of fell asleep before we got started.
So
I
about
wasn't
you?
asleep.
Do you know anything about concussions, or if you had a concussion, or people have concussions?
I mean, my sister had concussions numerous times.
What happened?
She played soccer. And sometimes she got soccer, like when the ball knocked her in the head. In fact, one time she probably got her worst concussion when because the thing is, she's a goalie. She died for the defend all his players on the team kicked her in the head.
Schnick, you were cutting out really bad there.
Bye-bye.
Oh, okay.
He's mad. He gets mad when that happens.
Okay.
So, but yeah, basically, Daniel Bryan's returned. His first day back, he got beat up by Kevin and Sammy.
Wow. Is he a heel or is he
He's a Daniel Bryan's a face.
Okay.
At least I'm not really sure they could turn him heel right now, even if they try to.
Yeah. I guess could kind of see that. Do you think is he gonna be part of like the main story, like one of the main focuses, or is he gonna be more of like the side focus? Because you know how they always have like one or two main focuses, like that are like.
I think right now the four main focuses right now that I'm aware of are probably the Brock Lesnar thing,
Oh yeah, Brock Lesnar is really big event name.
And then after that, the two Royal Rumble winners are probably gonna be a big thing, along with the Cena versus Undertaker.
Debacle.
What?
Wait, I thought Cena versus Undertaker wasn't gonna happen. I mean, Cena said it himself.
But he re-challenged him last week.
Oh.
And he called him out. Called him a coward.
I heard that. I heard that in your mumbling.
Yeah.
That would seem interesting.
Yeah, like he called him a coward. He said he called him out basically last week. He said you're not too old, you're not broken down, because if you were broken down, you wouldn't be posting workout videos on your wife's Instagram account.
Oh. Wow. He just destroyed the Undertaker. Like, that's like really out of character. Like, okay, like if you're like trying to be the WWE and you're trying to keep people in character, and just have another wrestler call out like what's basically supposed to be a zombie, like supernatural character, and being like, you're posting workout videos on your wife's Instagram. Seems really weird that they would allow him to say that. Or maybe or maybe that's just something he just came up with on the fly.
Yeah, he last year he similarly, the Undertaker dead man seemingly retired after he was beaten by Roman Reigns last year. So
yeah, I don't like that match.
So
I wish the Undertaker would have retired when he lost the first streak. Like, it feels like the streak before he lost was like this really huge thing, and I was thinking that when he loses, that's when he was going to retire. But he's already lost twice now, and it just kind of feels like kind of milking the Undertaker name.
There's two rumors, at least. One rumor was back in the 31 match against Bray Wyatt, he was going to face against Sting, which I think everyone wanted to see at the time, probably.
Yeah, I wanted that to happen. I wanted to see that.
And two, the other rumor is that he won't be coming back as the dead man in this. If he comes back, he'll be coming back as his American badass personality, the motorcycle rider.
That'd be really interesting to see. I haven't seen the Undertaker in his American outfit since, what was it, WrestleMania 20?
It was like before that. I think it was 2000, 2004 was his badass, or 2003 was when he was with the badass.
Hey Vandalia, sorry to interrupt real quick. Are we still on the concussion experiences thing? I kind of got mixed up here.
Oh yeah, we were. Kind of. We kind of like. We were talking about WWE concussions, and we were talking. But anyways, but yeah, so back to concussions, I guess, and WWE, because kind of blend together there for a second. I wonder if he's gonna. I don't know. I think it'd be too soon for after his concussion healing. I think it'd be too soon for Daniel to fight at WrestleMania, or y'all think that he'll wait a little while before he gets an official match?
I think he'll be fine, personally, just as long as he doesn't do anything too crazy.
So, Sparrow, do you have any people you want him to fight his first fight back? Anybody in chat have an opinion on this? Or any custom experiences? And also, if you have any ideas for topics to talk about, tell them, post them in our Discord chat for ideas. And we might use them.
I actually wanted to talk to Adam about something.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with WWE.
I'm just gonna let you know right now. I'm kind of like paying attention to two different things at once. So if I get confused on something, I might ask you to repeat yourself. So I apologize if I have to do that a lot.
It's alright.
Alright, so
I'm gonna try and segue this though. So
yes, we talk about Daniel Bryan's return. I guess time to go on to the next topic, whatever it may be. I do another topic, but I guess we can wait until Games for Us has his topic.
And Mandela, you might want to answer Great Exposer's question in chat.
I guess whatever. If it's anything tasteful.
Well, I don't know if you were reading in chat, but he was talking about what's his name again?
Ray something?
No. Corn Jumbo. He was talking about Corn Jumbo, like exposing him.
Okay, whatever. I think I already did. Anyways,
I'm not about that.
Anyways, so what's your current topic, Game for Us?
Okay, so I'm gonna try and segue this to make it sound more natural, even though it's not. So, I'm gonna try and gently nudge from WWE to Nintendo Switch. So, you remember how disastrous WWE 2K18 was on the Nintendo Switch? How it was super disgusting? Or do you not know about that?
I didn't know it was off the Switch.
I don't really know about 2K18 on Switch. I just generally think that WWE games, just like sports games, are generic and they just suck in general.
2K18 was an alright entry, I guess. My friends, remember Marion? He's really into WWE games as well, but 2K18 was a huge flop on WWE, on the Switch. WWE 2K18 was so bad on Switch. It was super rushed. It was just slapped on. How it looks like if they tried to port a Nintendo Wii game to an N64. That's how bad it looks, and then put it on a portable, and then put it on the Switch. That's how bad it was. It did get a patch. I'd say, I think yesterday, either today or yesterday, it got a patch to make it run better, but it still is really, really crappy, the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I have it for the PS4, that game. I don't really play it that much, though.
Yeah. It's a decent game if you get into it. But, anyways, so yeah, it was a really, really crappy port. And another thing that Adam thinks is really, really crappy is Nintendo's treatment of Paper Mario Sticker Star and what Nintendo did to Paper Mario and Paper Mario Sticker Star and Color Splash.
Well, I think all of us can agree that Sticker Star was not a very good Paper Mario game.
Yeah, Sticker Star sucks. I like Color Splash, but Sticker Star sucked. Anyway,
two things real fast. One, you want to move his, since Snick's gone, you want to move his thing up to the side? And the top thing?
I guess if you want it that way, sure.
Well, since there's an empty space up there, or is something else not empty space, I guess.
Okay, so
this video.
So moving forward, I guess.
Probably that troll would kicked out just like this.
Possibly. Because we had a troll, literally in the very beginning of the stream, no time wasted, come in and just say, eat ass, and I was like, nope, I'm not dealing with you. Click.
Yeah, 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes in.
Not even 2 minutes, it's not even a minute. It was at least within the first 30, 45 seconds. But anyways, what were you saying?
Anyway, second thing is, I'd like to thank Games for Us for making my new banner and the thumbnail you see in this podcast. You worked like 2 hours on these things because they kept on remaking it because first the thing was too big and the other thing was too small.
Okay, do you want to know how annoying it was to do this? Okay, so first thing, the thumbnail wasn't that hard. All I had to do was resize it. And then after I resized it, Vandalia was like, do you think you could put Season 6, Episode this, with the title of the thing on it? And I'm like, okay, sure. So I went into my program and did all that. And I sent him to it, and it worked okay. Like, it worked pretty good. And that's the thumbnail you see now. And then I am like, okay, I'm going to decide to be nice to him. So I'm going to make a new channel banner for him because his looks a tiny bit outdated. So I'm going to just update his bit.
Like 10 years old at this point, I think.
Yeah, so I decided to update it. And turns out...
It was too small.
Yeah, no. Making channel banners using a phone is really, really hard. Like, what I did, I had to download a template for the right dimensions of it. Then I did like a background, and I pasted the background onto the template. Then I found lightning, and then, yeah, and then once I made that, I exported it. Then I took that image and put it into another program to get some, to get the words on that, like the right font and all of that. And then after that, I exported it into another program so I could resize it. So I had to use like 3 programs in order to get that image out. And then I give it to Vandalia, and he's like, the 1 and the A are a little close together for my liking. So it's alright if you put some more stuff onto it. And then I go into that and I do all that. But then it turns out like...
Yeah, sorry about that, but it really is like... It looks like there's like 2 A's there almost. It looked like that's how close they were together.
It was like a weird way the font works. Like the A was morphed into the 1. Like it was really weird. So I had to go in, and I had to go into my second program, and I had to retype out everything again. And for some reason, that font kept doing that to the A, so I had to like change the font in between the letter and the number just to get it to work out. So I export that and add whatever he wanted, like the podcast, Let's Plays, and all that underneath. Turns out my third program started being really buggy for some reason, and it didn't really export to the right size I wanted, and he said it was too small. So then after that, I go into my first program and I paste the new image from my third program in order to change the background of that and resize it. And then I text him through Skype the picture, and he says it's still too small. So I'm like, what the heck? And I look up before this, during my transition from the third and first program, I looked up the dimensions of what YouTube recommends for a channel banner, and that's what I did in my first program. And I went back into my third program to resize everything. No, wait, I used my second program. Yeah, sorry. So then after that, I'm like, what the heck? So then he suggests I email it to him. So I email it to him, and then it finally works.
Yeah, I guess Skype is trying to automatically shrink things or something for some reason.
Yeah, Skype like compresses and resizes pictures. It's really weird.
But you can thank him for all this work he did today.
Yeah. Anyways, Paper Mario. Okay. So during Sticker Stars, did you know that Sticker Star was originally going to be another 1000-Year Door-esque game?
Yeah, fuck, I can't talk. It was debated in a kind of vote thing that I never even heard of, and apparently everyone voted to have less story, which screw everyone that said that, and yeah, that's how we have Paper Mario today.
Well, that's sort of the case, but there's like two factors. That's about 50% of the story. The other half of the story is that at first they were developing the 1,000-Year Door sequel, there's like beta images of what Sticker Star looked like, and it looks like, you know, a 1,000-Year Door sequel, basically a Paper Mario 3, right? Bless you.
No.
Oh god.
Wow, nice coughing. Bless you. I did that crap before, but like as a joke. Unless you were joking too.
Anyways, so while they were developing it, Shigeru Miyamoto comes up and he says that he wants it to be more simple, like more fun, right? Because he doesn't like RPGs as a game. He says that it needed less story to be more simple, have generic creatures like toads and stuff. And the team was kind of pissed off at him, right? But they still respected him and they still had to do what he said, right?
Yeah.
So that's when they put up the voting thing, and when they saw the 1% story, they're like, alright, I guess that's not what the people want. So we're just gonna make a really simple Paper Mario game, and they kind of came up with Sticker Star. And of course, it had extreme backlash. So then, when they were making Color Splash, they basically had no idea what the community wanted, because from their point of view, they made a game using Shigeru Miyamoto's insight, plus the voting insight. So they thought they were making a game that everybody would want, right, when making Color Splash. So they tried their hardest to make that game, and it really shows that it was like a passion project. But of course, Color Splash still had the Sticker Star ideology, so most people, except me, basically don't like it. Because it shares a lot of Sticker Star's DNA.
To be honest, sorry.
Okay. So that was mostly because of Shigeru Miyamoto's insight on it, and them hiring people from different departments to work on Color Splash, because it was a really it basically, they had no idea what Paper Mario game to make when developing Color Splash. But now, you know Yoshiaki Koizumi, right, Adam? Or no?
I think.
Okay, Yoshiaki Koizumi. During the Switch time when Nintendo kind of bounced back from the gross Wii U era, after Nintendo bounced back from that with the Switch, Miyamoto started to become less and less of a like producer and director. Like, he wasn't really in games that much. He was just kind of like there, right, as a guy. He still works at Nintendo and he still does a lot of stuff, but he's not really making games or changing games all that much anymore. So Yoshiaki Koizumi is one of the main people in charge of stories in Nintendo games. The entire story in Majora's Mask was created by him. Like, the world and the characters and all that was pretty much created by him.
Yeah, I heard the creator of Mario, Zelda, and Donkey Kong is the same guy.
Yeah, Shigeru Miyamoto.
Doesn't really like stories that much. He's not really a story. He's not.
Yeah.
You know, Zelda's a big story plot-driven game. He's not into stories that much.
Well, the original concept for Zelda was just about to take the experience of adventure and put it into a game. That was about it. The story stuff just kind of came later because they were like, wait, we need to do something in this game. There has to be a goal in the game, so they made that. Anyways, Yoshiaki Koizumi is one of the most, basically he's one of the reasons why stories in Nintendo games are so great. So he added the story in Majora's Mask, and if you've ever played Link's Awakening, he basically came up with the entire concept for that game. And Shigeru Miyamoto, right, said that he basically wanted Link's Awakening to be no plot, just a simple handheld game, right? Miyamoto did not want any plot in that handheld Zelda game. In secret, he coded the entire story for that game, under the eye of Shigeru Miyamoto, and when it released, Shigeru Miyamoto was pretty mad at him.
Oh wow.
Then,
Well, for what game?
it was Link's Awakening.
Oh.
So, what should I put the topic as? Because we went from Paper Mario to now Legend of Zelda.
No, this isn't Legend of Zelda. I'm telling the background story of Yoshiaki Koizumi. This all has to do with Paper Mario still.
Oh,
okay. Sorry.
Didn't he also create, real fast, didn't he also create the Pikmin series?
Yeah, he created the Pikmin series. Anyways, Yoshiaki Koizumi also worked on mainline Mario games. He worked on Super Mario Galaxy. And you know how the Rosalina backstory is in there?
Yeah.
He basically created that entire plot thing. Like Rosalina's backstory and all, like, some of the main story elements and some of the creepy textures in Super Mario Galaxy. And he also, and since he got set as producer and director, because back then he was just kind of like a game designer, right? Like there wasn't supposed to be stories in these games, but he snuck them all in because he knew that story in the game makes the whole experience just better, right? It like elevates the game more than just simple fun.
Yeah.
And of course, he's like the polar opposite of Shigeru Miyamoto. And when he got upvoted as director, he decided to create Super Mario Odyssey. Like, he's the main producer and director of Super Mario Odyssey, and basically in charge of the Switch now. So now he's in charge of a lot of Mario games. So what I've been thinking, and some people on the internet have been thinking, is, are we going to see a new Paper Mario on Switch? And if Yoshiaki Koizumi is in charge of it, will he actually put more story and thought into the game? Unlike Shigeru Miyamoto when he was in charge of Sticker Star and Color Splash. If Yoshiaki Koizumi, remember the guy who put story into Majora's Mask and Super Mario Galaxy, under the eye that is Shigeru Miyamoto, do you think it's going to be more like the original games if there is a new Paper Mario at all? And if he's the director of it?
Sounds interesting. It sounds interesting if it will be.
Honest to God, that would be a yes, because his stories are pretty good. So I would not be very surprised if the story comes out to be very well received. But then again, I might be surprised if there is actual good story and good gameplay in Paper Mario, because part of the problem was not, like, the last two Paper Mario games, part of the problem wasn't just the story alone, it was also the gameplay, where the whole point of Paper Mario was to be an RPG game where you level up, meet new allies, and they help battle with you. And instead, all we gotten was battles that are pretty much meaningless, especially in Sticker Star. The only thing you get out of Color Splash is paint to power up cards, but otherwise pretty much nothing. And
sometimes you get cards out of it, and sometimes you could get partner cards, but that's about it. I still kind of agree with you.
Yeah, like actual gameplay elements from the first two games. I mean, even if we got a game that was kind of similar to Super Paper Mario, but it was still good, then it's just kind of like, yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Though I think we need to get back to the roots of Paper Mario at this point, because, I mean, I think the community would probably have mixed opinions if it was a Super Paper Mario style game rather than the original RPG Paper Mario game.
Yeah.
That's just what I think. Hell, well then again, okay, here's a question. Would you prefer a remake of one of the first two games, or would you prefer a whole new game?
I would definitely prefer a whole new game, but a funny thing related to that question is that the creators of Color Splash actually wanted to remake Thousand Year Door if there was enough support for it, but there wasn't really that much support. But yeah, you could go ahead. I would want a new game anyways. That's my answer. New game.
I think I would want a new game too.
But here's the thing though. Koizumi, when he makes games, he designs the concepts for the gameplay and stuff around the story. Like Majora's Mask, its story revolves around you time traveling using the ocarina mechanic, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and going back every 3 days, repeating history, and then going to each owl statue.
Yeah, and in Super Mario Galaxy, the spin jump and like Rosalina's importance in the game was kind of shown through. Not as much as in Majora's Mask, since he was kind of free to create whatever he wanted in Majora's Mask, and he kind of snuck in the story elements in Super Mario Galaxy. And also in Link's Awakening, the whole... this is a pretty big spoiler for Link's Awakening if you care to either be fair. It's not that long of a game.
I've already played the game years ago.
Wait, which game? Link's Awakening?
Yeah.
It's the only Game Boy game or Game Boy Color game
or SNES
ever
game.
made. No, it wasn't a SNES game.
Link's Awakening? Oh wait a minute.
Link's Awakening is the Game Boy one. It was re-released on the 3DS, Awakening DX.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh. Fuck. I kept thinking Link's Awakening was a Link to the Past. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Have you played it? Or
how dare you think that, Mario? Okay.
Yeah, especially since I've actually played that game too.
Okay, so basically at the end it's revealed that the entire island's a dream, and he made up the whole concept of finding the instruments right around the island with the egg and the big fish egg, whatever, on top, and
the windfish.
Yeah. He basically came up with all of that and all the characters like Marin and the old guy and the other characters. The only character I remember from that game is Marin, to be honest.
And is that the same character that made a reappearance in Ocarina of Time?
Her name, she's kind of represented in Ocarina of Time, but not really.
But the owl... I know, but the owl may come back.
Yeah, the owl.
The owl. The evil fucking owl.
And, so he kind of designs the story first and game concepts around that kind of idea of the game, right? So my worry is that Yoshiaki Koizumi will create another battle system for a new Paper Mario. Because in Super Mario Odyssey, he did go back to the 64 and Sunshine roots, but he also made the levels, one, way more open, the moons way more abundant, and you don't get kicked out of the level, and there's lots of different, like, I don't know how to explain Mario Odyssey as compared to 64 and Sunshine. Mario Odyssey is like those games, but like bigger. Not exactly more deeper, but like wider. Like,
I think what you're trying to say is that they're expanding the whole exploration thing a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because that's really what it kind of is, an explorationist kind of game. I mean, there's two different ways you can play it. You can play it like a traditional Mario game where you just go through the levels, but you can also play it like an exploration game where you're trying to get as many moons as possible, which is personally how I'm playing it because, well, I don't know, I figured it'd be more fun.
Yeah, I went through it both ways.
Yeah?
And I played through the game twice. And, but, well, Mario Odyssey is really huge on the exploration idea. Some of the bigger fans of the Galaxy games actually don't like Mario Odyssey too much. Like, I've seen and I've talked to some people who really like the Mario Galaxy games, and they said, well, they think that Odyssey is a great game. It doesn't appeal to them because, one, the difficulty is a bit stagnant in Odyssey, and that the levels feel less focused to them. Like, there's a lot of stuff to do, but it doesn't feel like one, like, singular level. It feels like concepts shoved into a level. So they kind of felt like it wasn't for them. They said, like, the movement was really fun and all that, but they said that They just kind of wanted more focused design, which I can see when they're coming from. Dang it, I'm trying to speak. I can see where they're coming from, but since they're more fans of linear Mario games, but
well, I mean, I've only gone up to the Sand Kingdom. But that's because I'm trying to 100% the game, and I haven't gotten every moon in that kingdom yet. But oh, and in case anyone's wondering, I believe that's like the second kingdom, but it's the first kingdom that you really go through, because there's a technically first kingdom, but that's kind of like a tutorial kind of thing.
I gotta play this game.
Mario Odyssey is great. Mario Odyssey is really.
Is it on the Switch yet?
Yeah, Switch.
Wait, Mario Odyssey's been out for like 5 or 6 months by now.
Not Odyssey. I meant Paper Mario.
No, Paper Mario isn't even on the Switch. It hasn't been announced.
Huh?
I mean, there's Smash that's announced, but that's off topic.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, so if you're trying to just go through the level, I mean, in the Sand Kingdom there is linearness to it, you know. Like there is some.
Yeah, there's linear elements, but with more.
But the problem with it though, is just that, you know, how are you supposed to have the linearness when there's a whole bunch of exploration to it, you know?
You see, here's one thing I really like about the Sand Kingdom. Like, you know how when you start up, you go through a town, and then you go through the ruins area, right?
Yeah, so keep on going, keep on talking.
Okay. So anyways, I'm talking to podcast now, so... Anyways, in the Sand Kingdom, when you start, you go through a little Mexican town, and then you go through the ruins. But the ruins aren't linear. They kind of like fold back on themselves. It's like one big square, and you go to the right and up, and then to the left and up. It's like you're spiraling through the ruins to get through it. But since Odyssey has
you're
such
talking about the Sand Kingdom. I didn't understand what you were saying.
Okay. So what I was saying is that while there's linear sections in the Sand Kingdom, I think it's really good as a level because when you start out, there's the little Mexican town, and then you go forward, and then there's the ruin section. And the ruin section is set up in a way to where it like crisscrosses. Like it's like one big square, right? They kind of like go up a tiny bit each through when you get through it. But since Odyssey has such a diverse moveset, you could go through that however you like. You could follow the path, or you could stray from the path, or which is encouraged. Straying from the linear path is really encouraged because of the moons. Because, you know, when you're on the linear section and you go forward, you could see like a moon on a pillar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tells you to go off the path by using what's inside the linear section. It's like a small little burst of stuff. You can continue the path and just ignore the moon, but you're still gonna have to go back and collect it because you need a certain amount to progress. But yeah, as you go through and collect all that stuff, you could just go through it however you like, and there's different stuff inside that encourages your exploration. I'm trying not to spoil it because that little section is really tightly packed with moons, but I'm trying not to spoil it for Adam.
Well, I mean, I don't know how many moons are in the Sand Kingdom. I mean, I've gotten a lot of moons in that kingdom, but
how would you say how many moons you got? Because I know how many there are. Well, sort of. There's a really weird way.
I don't remember. Maybe like 10 to 15 plus moons, I think.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to check to see how many exactly I have, but it's like somewhere around that number. Also, hi Schnick.
Okay, I'm just gonna say Odyssey's gonna take a long time for you.
Yeah, I could already tell. Thanks.
Yeah, sorry.
I'll come back.
Yeah. You could go ahead and go Schnick. you have anything to add, Nick, since you've just arrived, or no?
No.
Okay. So,
What-
anyways, I kind of strayed off topic and started talking about Mario Odyssey. So, anyways, I was saying something
well, the whole
about
reason
Paper
why
Mario.
you brought it up was because you said you were worried that I can't
Oh, yeah,
remember the
I
long
was-
name of the guy you were talking about, but he was gonna. Well, you were afraid he might change the battle system in the
Yeah.
theoried new Paper Mario game.
Yeah, I bet that if he makes a new Paper Mario game, he's gonna design some of the battle system stuff around the story. How do you think the community or you would react to that if they changed the Paper Mario battle system for essentially a third or fourth time, depending how you look at it?
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Okay then. I'm not sure what happened there, but I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? Something just weird happened in chat for a moment.
Okay, so what I was saying that if he decides to change Paper Mario's battle system for essentially a third or fourth time, how do you think the community or you as a person would react to that?
Depends on how it works, all in all. I mean, if the battles are worthwhile, then, you know, I wouldn't imagine it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it really matters if you get something out of it or what, but, I mean, I guess it seems like that. I don't know.
Well,
That's pretty
well,
much
you're-
what I think that's the main concern people have. Are you getting something out of the battles? If no, it's not a good system. Also, great exposure. What are you talking about? I don't see anything.
Okay.
But yeah, as long as you get something out of it, I think that's the concern.
Okay. Also, there's been a lot of Smash stuff on YouTube recently. This is kind of off topic, but I don't really have anything much to go off the topic anyways. Like, I think I'm pretty much done with the whole Paper Mario topic, but
Okay. Also,
There's been a
what's
lot
the
of-
thumbs down for.
Flares.
I guess I could go to my other topic, my main topic, what it was before the. I had an original topic to talk about before the breaking news happened today, and I had to change the topic because of the breaking news.
breaking news, World War III, nuclear war,
Oh God.
mutually assured destruction.
But my original main topic was about insurance again.
You got student loans, you
Topic I
got
talked
car
about-
payments, you got insurance.
About last year. Apparently, there's two people at work. They have kids, right? They have 2 kids. And apparently, they can't get insurances for the babies of the family, the younger kids. They have to get separate insurance. The older kids, they can pay. The older kids can the 2 older kids like by 4 or 5 or something can be piggybacked on their parents' insurance. But the younger ones, like 3 or younger, apparently, they're like, no, you can't put them on your insurance. You have to get different insurance for them.
What?
They're uninsured. The babies are uninsured right now.
Schneck is really disappointed in that.
I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck, insurance company? You won't get a baby insurance? You won't pay for baby's health care? I'm like
Sign up. Sign up
There's
for
some-
baby insurance now.
Oh,
There's such a
God.
thing. Oh no, I think it's because the freaking insurance company probably realized SIDS is a thing, so they're like, "Oh, pay extra insurance to be covered if that happens." And then in their mind, like they say that to be nice, but in their heads, all they're thinking is, "We've got to have money."
Yep,
Wow.
pretty much. That's really horrible. But yeah, that's kind of messed up that they would do that.
But yeah,
Hopefully they grow up fine, though.
you probably guys. I don't. since you guys hit, you're still in high school, you haven't dealt with insurance much. What about you, Snick? Have you dealt with insurance problems since you're in college already?
I mean, well, health insurance was a bit of an issue, but very briefly. Essentially, at first, when I first got into college, I was just under my mom and dad's health insurance. But then, right after I finished freshman year, conveniently, right as I had what I like to call the summer job concern, my mom and dad found out I could not continue under my health insurance because I wasn't making money.
Well,
So I had to settle on the school health insurance, which was just simply added to the tuition bill.
if you trip, it's an extra $7. $7 if you fall down and smack your face.
So, from what I understand, starting in junior year, I managed to get back into my mom and dad's plan when I started working. And I've never had to deal with car insurance because I don't drive.
Yeah, neither have I. Well, but did you have to get insurance when you got your what bike was it?
Insurance didn't cover that.
My dog has insurance.
Pupper insurance. Or
No,
pet
sir.
insurance, and it's called.
Yeah, after my last dog died, my mom and dad have been very paranoid with this one. They immediately went to our freaking PetSmart, I think it's called, and they got him health insurance there. It's surprisingly cheap. It was like $30 a year or something.
Well,
He goes for like checkups like every 6 months, and they give him all his shots and everything.
it's really nice. So,
Yeah.
the one thing, what happened to your old dog? If this is too personal of a question, then.
Huh?
What happened to your old dog?
What'd you say about the question?
I said you don't have to answer it if it's too personal.
Nah, I've freaking told the story like a million times.
Oh, I'm sorry. So,
So the video I made, around the time it had, I made like I addressed it in like a couple of the videos that were coming out at the time, but essentially what happened was I was going on like a recurring theme I ran into throughout 2015 and 16 was that something bad is that I really started to freaking hate vacation because it always felt like something bad happened because of a vacation.
yeah. 2016 and 15 were kind of really bad years, in my opinion.
Well, 2016 was the freaking year of death.
Was that the dog that got killed by the grass poison?
I think, yeah, theoretically, I believe he got killed by poisoning.
At least 2017 was the best year of gaming, so.
Yeah, 2017 got a lot better. In 2018, in terms of celebrity death, 2017 was really bad with old people.
Yeah, well, I wonder why. But yeah.
I mean, but 2018's been pretty good so far. So far, only Stephen Hawking has died. That's pretty much it.
Oh.
He died on Pi Day.
Oh.
You
No.
know, not only did he die on Pi Day, apparently Albert Einstein died on the exact same day, like 60 years ago.
Oh, I salute you, Stephen Hawking. I kind of liked you, I guess.
You guess.
You're back. It's hard to tell since
To us.
the thing is delayed. But I thought about another topic.
You did?
Turns is
Oh, wait.
done.
Wait,
Well, yeah,
I
I
want to
did.
talk about something real fast, okay?
Okay, sure.
So, speaking of Pi Day at our school, or in our math classes, we were celebrating Pi Day.
Because Pi Day is our short topic then.
Okay, so,
I didn't finish the dog story.
so, our teacher,
Damn it.
right? Our teacher, okay, so in Mountain Range, most of the teachers asked the students to donate like $5 so she could go out, or so they could go out and buy pies, right? But our teacher thought that was too expensive. So instead of buying pies, all we had to do was bring a food item that was round or rotund. And what happened was
Like what, a
somebody
burger?
brought salami cubes.
Wait,
Somebody
what?
brought salami. Yep.
They brought
Somebody
what?
brought. They brought 2 tubes of salami, and they
Why?
cut little. Because I don't know, it was round, and he sliced them up into circular pieces.
My God.
And there was the regular salami, and it was pretty good. Like, it was like really high quality salami. Yeah, I had a piece. But then his other tube was like turkey salami, right? And somebody was trying to get somebody to try some of the salami, right? Like, oh, go ahead, have some salami, it's fine. But you see, the thing with turkey salami is that it tastes like cat food. Turkey salami is horrible in my opinion. So everybody already finished the 1 tube of salami that was, you know, the real like beef salami that kind of tastes kind of like pepperoni. So I'm like, I'm gonna have another piece, and so did that other person. And we both took a bite, and we almost threw up because of how bad it tastes. Like, think of what canned cat food tastes like. That's how it tasted like. It was so bad. Anyways, you could continue on with whatever you guys wanted to say.
Well,
I ate canned cat food one time. For a day.
Yeah, I didn't finish the dog story.
I can finish.
So, what I was trying to get at is that a recurring theme that happened throughout for like the past couple of years until, oddly enough, 2017, was that bad things always tended to happen because of vacations. Like, for instance, the last bad thing that happened was when we went on a Florida vacation right after Christmas.
Oh.
And not only did we go to freaking Disney at one of the worst times of year. Thing is, my dad didn't like his job at the time. He was trying to find a new one. Apparently, he found one that he liked, and he went for an interview. And his interview was literally just an hour before we left for the vacation.
Uh-huh.
And thinking to myself, interviewing, back. And then, surprise, surprise, they call him back. Can you still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can.
Because now tell me poor network connection. I'm hoping I can steal an Ethernet cord.
Plug it out of the Xbox.
So, surprise, surprise, he gets a call for a second interview. He says, oh, I'm not available, I'm on vacation.
Oh.
And the thing with interviewing is that they might wait for you for a few days, but usually not anything more than that.
Yeah.
And my dad, he was supposed to go home early to go back to work, and I'm thinking, well, he'll go home early to do the interview.
Uh-huh.
He says, no, I think I'll stay.
Okay.
And surprise, surprise, when we finally go frickin' home, he calls them, and obviously he was too late. They filled the job already.
Uh-huh.
And of course, my ma is like, "Why are you treating this so lightly? I thought you loved the job." My dad's like, "Yeah, I don't care."
Sometimes you need a vacation more than you need that job. Sometimes you need that vacation.
I don't know, but he did eventually get a job he really likes, so...
Yeah.
Well, a few months after, but...
Sometimes you just need a break.
I'll tell you one thing, one job that he actually got an offer for but had to decline because its hours and pay were not up to standard, but it was very close to home. It's a good thing he didn't take it because they ended up shutting down.
Wow.
Wonder why.
But the whole thing is, with my dog finally, the old one,
Yeah.
we go on a vacation. I used to go on an annual vacation to Wildwood, New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
And it was that time of year again. And the thing is, we had no one to watch our dog. So my Graham, who worked in upstate New York at a pool, we dropped the dog off at a bungalow she would stay at.
Uh-huh.
Except the thing with the bungalow is that it was always pretty run down. Like, simply put, the owners didn't put much work into, like, restoring it to, like, modern day standards, I suppose.
So, like, renovations and stuff?
Yeah, like, no renovations. It didn't even have internet.
Wow.
And I found that out the hard way when I get frickin' 5,000 Wii points as a present, and then I go upstate, and then I can't use them.
Oh, no. That sucks.
Yeah. It especially sucked when I had to spend pretty much all summer up there. Though, around the second or third year after I got the Wii, I started being home.
Stick.
You're gonna make me leave the call!
It's not our fault.
Everything was dying. The bit rate's at 2. He's gone. He just disappeared in 2 frames.
God. His dorm Skype is just so... Not his dorm Skype. His dorm's internet is just so bad.
Wow, I guess you really did steal an Ethernet cord after all. So what's the topic now?
Well, I don't know if he's done with his dog story or not.
No. Said he left them at a bungalow. That's when he left off. I'm gonna say Shrek. Shrek. Oh, anyways, next back.
I'm Shrek.
I don't know if he was done with his dog story, whoever it was he was telling at the time. Because
yeah.
The robotic he attacked again.
No. What I was trying to say is that after, like, 2 or 3 years after I got my Wii, I stopped staying up there regularly.
Uh-huh.
So, it was basically just to visit my Gran because she worked up there. And truth is, she loved working up there because it gave her people to talk to. Got her out of the house. So we dropped the dog up to where she was at, and we go on our Wildwood vacation. already there was some hostility between me, my mom, dad, and sister. Well, for one thing, well, it had nothing to do with the dog. Like, for instance, we stop at a rest area, and I want to buy a Snapple. My sister, as I'm putting the Snapple on the counter, my sister elbows it out of my hand, and it falls on the floor and shatters.
Wow. I was gonna make a bad joke. I was gonna say, so instead of you wanting to have a Snapple, it was you wanting to have a yummy yummy hamburger.
Oh no.
Actually, it was yummy cheeseburger, to be specific.
It was yummy cheeseburger. Don't make me sing the song.
Don't make them!
So, my sister goes on full DSP mode and she blames me. Why'd you put the Snapple behind me? And my dad keeps offering to pay for it, but the store kept saying it was fine. And then, we're freaking taking shit inside of our freaking hotel room. And my dad puts a laptop, my sister's laptop, inside of a freaking reusable grocery bag. Wow. And he puts it awkwardly on top of the wheelbarrow thing. And I'm like, Dad, that's gonna fall out, give it to me. And my dad keeps saying, no, I got it. Surprise, surprise! He wheels it into the freaking lobby, the laptop tumbles right out.
Oh, man.
The top part, like the freaking top dented, a piece broke off. Surprisingly, the screen survived, fully intact, no scratches or anything. But my dad and my mom, my sister yelled at me saying, why didn't you take the laptop? Oh, that's right, your shit's important. When I fucking offered to take it, and my dad kept refusing, and then my mom was like, oh, you offered to take it? Freaking, sometimes, I notice freaking when it's freaking vacation, everyone wants to be freaking DSP, and no one wants to admit faults or anything. But, my back.
You see,
now, huh?
Okay, you see, no matter how angry I am, if I do a mistake, I'll always say sorry for it. Usually. I mean, when I was little, I was kind of an asshole, but I'd say now, even if I bumped into somebody, I would say I'm sorry. No matter what the context of it was. If it was my fault or if it was their fault, I would say sorry because it's just the thing of habit.
Okay.
I don't really understand how people could bump into somebody and they could accidentally destroy something, or if it wasn't their fault, and just point the finger and be like, "Oh, you monster!" I don't really get that. Anyways, you could continue.
Yeah, the whole thing with
Oh yeah, by the way, Schnick DSP, Dark Side Parents is what Sproul said.
Dark Side Parents. I'm going to the fucking chat. Oh, god damn it. So the whole thing is, I was already in a bad mood to be there, especially since most of what we did was in Wildwood was go to the beach, which I wasn't a fan of.
Yeah.
So things got a little bit concerning the next day when my gram gave us a phone call and noted that the dog wasn't eating.
Oh no.
And he was vomiting and diarrheaing.
Diarrheaing? What?
That's
Shit
a lot of
ass.
vowels. That was a lot of vowels. Diarrheaing.
Okay, well. And the whole thing is, he was perfectly fine when we drop them off. A couple of days go, like 1 or 2 more days goes by, and my gram reports he's not getting any better. So it got to the point where Uncle Wally from the freaking cheeseburger story, who actually originally bought the dog, in fact he bought my current dog after the fact.
Yummy, yummy corgi.
Wait a minute. Actually, I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second, Schnick. You want to know something I found around my area?
What?
A store called Wally Burger.
Oh, God.
If it matters, Wally is spelled W-A-L-L-Y.
I mean, that's how I spell my Uncle Wally's name.
Oh my god. Uncle Wally has a store in my area called Wally Burger.
Oh my god. I might have to freaking tell him that, but then again, I don't think he's aware of any of you.
Oh no.
I mean, you'd be
He's
surprised.
about to be aware of me.
I mean, you'd be surprised. He doesn't understand how to use the internet that well. In fact, me and my sister have to teach him.
Oh, damn it.
Ironically, out of all my Grams kids, he's the youngest.
I didn't teach my mom and dad how to use the internet and the computers. My dad learned, my mom never did.
I mean, my ma, Uncle Wally's older sister, is damn good with the internet. But the whole thing is, so, because the dog wasn't getting any better, he decided to go up there, he picked him up, and he brought him home. And my sister had to return from Wildwood early because she needed to return home to do, like, bully training for, like, kids. I think it was to begin goalie training for high school, because she was still in high school at the time. And my ma sent me home with her, because a family friend was driving us. The only thing is, when we were driving back, the family friend had a convertible. And
a retractable car.
Yeah, had a retractable car, whatever. And the sunroof was kept down for the entire ride, so eventually I got a nice tan/sunburn.
Damn Transformers.
And
the eye.
we get back, and that's when I realized how serious the situation was. Not only was he still exhibiting the symptoms my gram described, but he just seemed weak.
Mm-hmm.
He originally he was like a big mouth with the barking, but he barely ever barked.
Well, sounds really sad.
And not to mention, he kind of moved around the house slowly. In fact, when my mom eventually came back, there were there was one day when my mom noticed him walking, he was almost kind of stumbling. Like, it was very subtle, but it was there. And, he would just move at a snail's pace while inside the house, and the fastest he would move was when I had to take him for a walk, when he would start moving at a light jogging pace, but that's about it. And my ma comes home, and they're trying to figure out ways to make him better. I suggested take him to the vet. Isn't there a medicine they could give him or something?
Yeah.
And my ma, in a decision she would actually regret when it happened, she tells me, "Oh, we don't know what's wrong with him. Let's wait it out and see if he gets better."
And he never got better.
Nope.
Aw.
So, yeah, I don't. So, I go back to school on a Sunday. The last time I ever saw him alive, well, actually, last time I saw him, period, because I was the only member of that house. Me and my gram were the only members of the household that were spared from seeing the body.
Yeah.
So, the last time I ever saw him, period, was when he went out, when I was leaving for school, and he went to the window to look out the window as I was freaking leaving.
Well.
Huh?
I said, well.
Yeah. So, a couple of days of school go by, and I find then freaking Tuesday night comes, and I find out I got the job at my school.
Mm-hmm.
And I call my mom in celebration. I ask how the dog's doing. She notes that he appeared to be getting a little better since he was actually starting to eat. It didn't seem as weak as before.
Yeah.
And then I call my cousin because it was her birthday. Now, keep in mind, my cousin hated my dog's guts.
Oh.
Like, she was always calling him mean nicknames like donkey, horse, mutant. I wish her a happy birthday, and then she tells me, "Are you sure your dog's okay? Because it doesn't look that good. Like, are you sure? Like, are you telling your ma to get him medicine and all that?" I was like, "Yeah, I was," and she kept saying she doesn't know what's wrong with him, so she wanted to wait. And my cousin tells me, "I don't think that's a good idea."
Yeah.
And that like told me something was not right, because for my cousin to express concern, like, that was unheard of.
Yeah.
And then the freaking next morning comes, and my mom and dad make an unexpected appearance in my school. And and my mom keeps messaging, "Where are you? We're at the front of your dorm building." And like, a part of me already knew what they were gonna say. Like, well, actually, what I was expecting to hear is that whatever he had was terminal, and he was going to die.
Yeah,
But
not
then
that
I was
he had...
Yeah, the news I get was that he was already dead.
Mm-hmm.
So, ironically, the morning he died was the day they were finally going to take him to the vet.
Wow. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, so my dad actually did describe the story of what happened. Supposedly, they last saw him alive when he jumped onto my mom and dad's bed and slept with them for a bit. Mm-hmm. And my dad wakes up to get ready for work, and he finds the dog's not there. He goes downstairs, and from what I heard, he found him lying dead in his bed.
Oh.
And supposedly he tried, when he felt him, his body was apparently still warm, so he likely had just died at that point. He attempted CPR to no avail, probably because his insides were messed up by whatever did the deed.
Yeah.
And, of course, my ma's called down in a panic, like, she's upset. My sister woke up in the commotion, and she told me in the aftermath she wished she didn't have to see his body, and true that she didn't have to, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And, of course, I was calling everybody. Well, my cousin was giving her condolences. Everyone in my dorm room was giving their condolences. And I also called my uncle about it. Well, I called Uncle Wally about it. He was actually pretty upset about it.
Well.
My gram, in particular, blamed herself. Because...
No, I think she was just taking care of her dog. I don't think...
Yeah, like, she kept saying, I wish I never accepted him to be up here. Because the whole thing, and the thing is, like, in the aftermath, I was more pissed off than I was upset, because the whole thing with his cause of death is that we don't know. We didn't. It's not like we sent him to a vet to do an autopsy or something.
Yeah.
So my mom believed it was cancer caused by his dog food. Because supposedly the family has had other Yorkies die of cancer pretty easily. But to me, cancer doesn't just happen the way it did.
Yeah.
He was perfectly fine before he went up there, and after he went up there, he was sick.
Yeah, maybe he just got like a really, really bad fever or something. Because like dogs who die pretty easily from bad fevers and stuff.
From what I understand, I ended up because the thing is, I did not want to go back up there because both me and my sister agree that something about up there was what did it.
Yeah.
But my gram was so grief-stricken, she was practically begging me to go up there. And I'll tell you, it was not an easy couple of days because I found the place was in even worse shape than before. Like, apparently some of the floors were cracking, the water didn't work properly, there was a rat infestation, and to top it all off, there was a freaking hornet's nest on the side of the freaking bungalow, and they were crowding around the window all day. Wow. I do have the videos of the freaking nest. It was either bees, wasps, or hornets. I don't think they were bees. Probably hornets.
It sounds pretty terrifying.
Yeah, and the thing is, I wanted to go home ASAP, but my dad was just like, sorry, make the best of it.
Like, sorry.
And the truth is, if the dog had survived to the weekend, I would have been home taking care of him, because they weren't going to let him go back up there. And that in itself is kind of a scary thought, because if he had lived for a couple of more days, I alone would have been the one to see him die.
Yeah, that would have been pretty traumatizing.
Yeah. Like, I would be alone, me being alone, like, it would be one thing to find your dog dead in your house, but being completely alone with a dead dog in there, like, I don't think that would have been...
Yeah, you would have to take care of it, and it would just be a really hard thing to do.
Well, probably what would have happened is that I would have called my mom and dad in a panic. I probably would have requested to leave the house, and then one of them would have had to fly back to handle it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I found my dog passed away.
Oh.
And I can tell my story. If that was your story.
I got some more left.
Oh.
So the whole thing is, I pretty much came to a close deduction of what I thought did the deed. So this is not 100% confirmed. In fact, it's never going to be confirmed, but it's the most likely scenario. So the old lady that ran the place, from what I understand, she was starting to show signs of dementia at the time. And my theory is she always was the caretaker of the place. My theory is that she started spraying rat poison everywhere carelessly.
Well, that would suck, because rat poison is really bad for pets.
Obviously. And the thing is, my gran would frequently let my dog run around outside free, and he could be trusted on his own. He would never go anywhere. But the thing is, my gran would frequently let my dog run around outside free, and he could be trusted on his own. He would never go anywhere. 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 He would
he loved eating grass, and if the old lady was carelessly spraying rat poison everywhere, he probably ingested some of it as he was eating his grass.
Uh-huh.
And I did research, and his symptoms match up with a dog trying to get poison out of their body, vomiting, not eating.
Wow. That does sound really likely, though.
Yeah, but...
If that's the case, then it was just a really bad accident.
Yeah, it was. And 2 months afterward, I got my current dog, and a lot of videos at the time show how much of a piece of work he was as a baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, watch the final way piece of work he is. Watch the Star Wars episode, season 3, and the Prince of Persia episode.
Yeah, like essentially.
I'm going to have to leave in like 3 minutes, and I kind of wanted to tell my story real fast about my dog.
Okay.
Yeah, just to quickly wrap up my story, the place where it all went down no longer operates. Eventually the owner sold the property, and now I don't know what's happened with it, but I haven't been back since. I mean, I've gone upstate to the pool my gram used to work at to do like camp videos for them, but I've never had to go back to that bungalow, thank God. Alright, we'll go on.
Rest in peace, the bungalow. It is a horrible place. Anyways, my house was in a really, really bad state, too. Our house, way back in New Mexico, when I was growing up, from, I'd say 3 years old, or when I was 3 years old, to when I was 11 years old. When I was first born, for 3 years, I lived in a trailer, and then for the next 3 to 11 years of age, I lived at my house in New Mexico, right? And it was my old grandma's house, and it had been pretty worn down. Like, it's a really, really, really old house. It's a pretty big house, though, which is nice, but it's still really old. And the floorboards now are, like, really, really lopsided. Like, when you walk, like, there are, like, bumps in the floorboards. There used to be lots of bug infestations, more so, like, little ants and flies. And moss would get in the house a lot and stuff like that. And eventually, like, I'd say when I was like 7 and 8, one of the pipes collapsed because it rusted from all the waters, and the pipe collapsed from the weight of the dirt. When, like, it was during the winter, so some of the water probably froze and the dirt got really heavy from the snow, and it just crushed the pipes and our water no longer worked. And we tried to call a plumber about it, or like a state official, and they said, yeah, no, water's likely never coming to that house again. So that house just doesn't have water now.
Oh, wow.
Something really unfortunate in our family happened. I'm not going to say in this podcast because it's a little too personal. But something happened, right, in our family, and it caused my mom to buy a dog. And he's still with us today, right? So
Yeah.
A year or two goes by, and some really crazy stuff has happened with my dog, who's still alive to this day, right? And what happened was, he almost got run over. And what happened was, I was a little kid, and I was waiting for my mom, right? And I was really tired. So in my brain, I'm like, oh, I should go take a cold shower. But I realized, oh wait, we don't have water anymore. I guess I'll just go wait outside in the cold. Maybe that'll help me wake up a bit, right? So I open the door and sit down on like the porch, right? And right across our porch is just a street, and straight across the street is the school. Well, not like across the street, but like down the street, I'd say. And during that time, I left the door slightly open, and I guess I didn't notice, but our dog ran off, and I heard my mom panicking, like, inside the house. So I run in, and I'm like, what's taking you so long, right, to drive me to school? And she's like, I can't find a dog. And I'm like, are you sure you didn't leave the door open by accident and him ran off? So I'm like, I don't think so, but I'll go check anyways. I see him on the other side of the street barking to a dog on the other side of the fence, right? And keep in mind, this is really early in the morning. There's like no cars, like almost nobody's awake. It's just like barely cracking dawn. So I'm like, oh, there he is. Just call him over. So I start to call him over. But then my mom was like, no, let me handle it. Come on over. And my dog turns around, and he starts walking across the street, starts wagging his tail. Out of nowhere, a truck comes speeding down the street, like really, really fast. And I turn away for the split second it was about to happen, and you just hear like a bonk. Like, think of two metal pipes hitting together. That's what I hear, just a bonk. And I turn my head away. And when I looked back, my dog was laying down in the middle of the street. So then my mom, of course, freaked out and ran in the middle of the street and picked up my dog. He was still alive. A tire didn't hit him. What ended up hitting him was a low-hanging, like, one of the mechanisms underneath the truck was like a low-hanging pipe, and it bonked him on the side of the head, and it just knocked him on his side.
Oh my god.
And
did he suffer any permanent injuries?
No. Well, yes, kind of, but I'll get to that later. My dogs can't really get knocked out without, like, chemicals. He was just laying there, and he was, like, half barking, like, he was freaking out, like, his eyes were wide open. He was just, like, going, like, like, dog barking-esque, like, making, like, a dog noise. And my mom was like, oh no, what do we do? And she, like, plopped him down slowly on the bed. And my dad's like, there's not like a hospital or anything here until miles away. So what I had to do, I had to walk to school, and then they had to drive him all the way down to the vet while he was like that. He was basically like that in pain for a really long way. And he had to stay at the vet for like 2 weeks. We didn't get to see him again for 2 weeks because the vet had to do some really strong stuff. They had to give him a lot of shots and stuff, because like, basically, he had like an instant seizure as soon as that thing hit him.
Oh my god.
And like, since he fell on his side so hard, one of his like arms got messed up. It wasn't broken, but it was like he landed on it really weirdly. It was like halfway dislocated. Like, it was really weird. So he came back and he was fine, but he still was himself, right? He wasn't like permanently scarred that much, but he still was. But he still is a little bit messed up from it today. Luckily, he was completely fine afterwards, except for, I'd say, a few things. One, he's a bit more cautious now. He doesn't run around as much as he used to. I mean, partly because he's really old now. He's like 11 years old.
I mean, well, it's a learning experience, so...
Yeah, so he's like really cautious now. He doesn't like going outside much. And also, since the car basically like just destroyed his head, his neck is like pushed back slightly, and every time he breathes, it sounds like he's whining, but in reality, it's just him like breathing, and like the air in his throat is really messed up. It's like basically like you're like have a stuffed nose like that, but like in the back of his throat, so it's really hard for him to breathe. Now, but he's fine.
I mean, thank God, like, it could have been instant death.
Yeah. He's a wiener dog, right?
Yeah.
And so he was walking down long ways, and he was so lucky a tire didn't hit him, like, didn't hit his legs or something, because how long he is.
Probably a good thing he's a wiener dog, too, because it's probably low enough to that truck to hurt him that badly.
Yeah, he was low enough. It just, like, scraped the top of his head and just knocked him on his side. But yeah, he's fine now. And unfortunately, though, we did get a second dog, and as a mate for him, but that dog ended up dying unfortunately, because she had a stillbirth, and yeah, it was just a really unfortunate time.
I guess it's time to tell my dog story now.
Anyways, I'm gonna have to go now.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. See you. Goodbye. It was nice being on the podcast.
See you next time.
I bid you adieu.
Anyways, alright, so you didn't change the topic for his story. I guess you change the topic for my story now.
No,
for my dog story.
Fast enough, I didn't realize it.
Anyways, so I got my dog when I was 4, and he died when I was 16. So he was 12 years old. Now, keep in mind, this is around the time of my 10th grade year, and we all know what happened in my 10th grade year. That wonderful year I had that year. So it was already a crappy year. Anyways, every 2 years my dog had to get shots because my mom was a foster parent, so they had babies coming through all the time. So the dog had to keep getting updated on its shots every so often, mainly because of that. And when I was 12, it got the final shot. I don't know what happened with the vet or something. It was a new vet or something. But after it got back from its shot, its hind legs stopped. Its hind legs basically, stopped working. Basically, it couldn't walk its hind legs anymore.
So is it like in the Brandon situation where they gave his bird a shot and then it just freaking died?
I think so. Pretty much. Its hind legs just stopped working after a while. It kind of limping around, and you said we had this cage, and it opened up in the front. And every time the dog it would jump in the cage every time. Now we can do that. We move it around so it can like walk in the cage. So a month before my final niece was born, in '96, we all went off to Pizza Hut to have some dinner or lunch. Pizza Hut. When we got back, it was my dog had just passed away while we were gone.
Oh no!
Do you know from what?
I don't know. I just blamed the vet for because I don't know what it was.
Because of disabled. Yeah, maybe it had something to do with blood circulation. I don't know.
All I know is after they got that shot in its legs, it could barely walk anymore.
Yeah, like that definitely sounds like a freaking medical malpractice shit.
And it's already been, and that year was already a crappy year because of the bullies. So it's like
Wait. You said '96 was a crappy year for you.
95, 96, yeah.
95, 96. I'm sorry.
Because first the bullies, and then now this thing happened.
You know why I'm sorry?
Why?
Because I fucking came into existence then. The Schnicklish infected your freaking 95, 96 year.
It's like, boom. So yeah, overlapped. You were coming.
It overlapped my goddamn coming. Then again, things weren't pleasant with my ma either. Because when she was pregnant with me, her dad died. In fact, it's possible the stress she got from him dying and having to console her mom, my gram. That's why I was born a preemie.
Overstressed.
Yeah, like that might be the reason. Curiously, I was supposed to be, my original due date was on my mom and dad's wedding anniversary. I was born like a whole 2 months before that. Month and a half, more like. And I was in the hospital for like a couple of weeks because they had to like do all this testing and stuff. I guess to make sure I was developed properly. My sister, by contrast, was also born a preemie, but only by a couple of weeks, and she went home after 3 days.
Before we go to the birth topics, Mario, do you have any sad dog stories?
Well, basically, my fucking dog is allergic to her shots, so that's already pretty hard to deal with. She's had a few surgeries before. I don't really remember her getting any injuries at all, which is good. Though apparently sometimes her heart skips a beat. She has a heart murmur. And, oh, the last time she had a surgery, she had this thing going on with her eyelid where it was like, I don't remember what happened exactly, like some growing or whatever. And we had to get surgery there, and that was pretty scary for me because at this point in time, which was like last year actually, she is fucking old as all hell, and having a surgery, I did not know what was going to happen, and I was kind of fearing the worst at that point, but luckily she came out of it fine. And now she's growing a cyst on her neck, and it's getting pretty big, and it seems like my parents don't want to do anything about it. Like, they took her to the vet one time, and that was like to diagnose what it was, but not to take care of it. It's been months ever since that last time.
I mean, if she's an old lady, I think cysts or probably to be, or if medical conditions are to be expected.
Well, that's the only other, I mean, that's the thing, that's the only thing that has happened ever since. And I'm honestly fucking shocked that cyst has not popped. Like, do cysts just pop at one point, or what?
I don't know.
Are cysts like blisters or pimples? Or boils?
The only time I've seen a cyst before this was on a human, and, well, I'm just going to tell you that seeing a cyst pop is a lot different than seeing a pimple pop. That's all I'm going to say about it.
What about blister?
Blister? No, blister is different. Hey, Pokesaurus.
Welcome late. You're a little late. Welcome to the party anyways.
Actually, I got one more dog story that's a bit shorter. You see, there was a particular reason why me and my sister agreed that the bungalow had to do with my last dog's death. He wasn't the first of our dogs to die there.
Oh.
Interesting. Conspiracy.
The dog I had before him, which was not a Yorkie, but a boxer, he was pretty old, like he was about 10 years, he was like 10, 11 years old. But the year before, he had a fall where he damaged his eye, and he was just very sick and very weak. So we had to put him to keep a close eye on him. And I'm going to be honest, since we kept the boxer in the basement and only let him out to let him outside for a walk, most of the time I spent with him was when he was sick. So, the whole thing is, my mom and dad were not expecting him to survive that summer. He did. He never fully recovered from his illness, but he was relatively healthy throughout my 4th grade year. And then summertime comes, and we had to bring him back with us to the bungalow. And then it was a massive heat wave outside, and this is even though his cause of death was officially different, my sister still blamed the fact that he was at the bungalow. Because it was incredibly hot outside, and the bungalow, in its ever so advanced living conditions, had no air conditioning.
Wow.
So I was taking him for a walk, And my Gram's like, you know, it's kind of hot outside, bring him in. I bring him in, and I go and sit outside on the swing. And next thing you know, I hear my cousin kind of nonchalantly saying, Nick, something's wrong with the dog. I go inside, and I see him having a seizure.
Oh.
And, like, he was on the ground kind of shaking his legs, and he was panting. Of course, freaking middle school Schnick described it as though he looked like he was having the time of his life, and my mom kind of tells me off, saying, yeah, he was having the time of his life, all right.
Oh, fuck.
Freaking middle school Schnick, asshole.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Hey,
outside.
So my mom rushes home from the pool, the resort. She was working in the office, and I'm sitting on the swing doing to help while my sister's running in and out of the bungalow in a crying fit, and my cousin are trying to calm him down. And my mom starts walking inside to investigate. I call out to her, "You're too late." Freaking asshole, middle school Schnick, And my mom's like, "He died?" And my sister, who just ran outside, she's like, "No, he's not." They go inside. He was basically calmed down at that point. But my mom and my cousin, they carry him to the car, and they carried him off to a vet. And me, my sister, and my gram just stayed at the bungalow. And supposedly the ride to get him to the vet was a pretty agonizing one.
Cursed bungalow.
Occasionally his seizures would restart, and just to add insult to injury, they go to a vet that was local. They were closed. So they had to ride 40 minutes to the nearest town to get to the nearest frickin' city to find a vet.
Oh my god.
All while he's still repeatedly having seizures.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at your dog, Schnick. I'm laughing at what Games Force said in chat.
I need to freaking read this. Oh, god damn it. What did he say?
Ugh.
What the fuck did he say?
His dead puppy choking on a pizza.
Oh. So, yeah, they get him to the vet, and they find he has a brain tumor. And supposedly they were able to give him treatments that would help the seizures, but essentially he wasn't going to get any better than he already was, so Uncle Wally gave the order, don't let him suffer, put him down. And they put him down.
Wow.
And, just like the last dog, just like the dog that succeeded him, I was spared from having to see the body, thank God. See, that's the thing, I do not want to, like, I kind of cringe when I see the bodies of, like, human beings or pets, and I don't want to look at it, like, I don't know, I don't want to cause a scene, maybe get sick looking at it. I'll tell you one thing, when I was at my grand's funeral, oh my god, couldn't look at her in the coffin for more than a period of time. Not necessarily, I mean, obviously it was due to the fact that everyone was upset that she was deceased, but it was also the fact that it was a little bit disturbing to look at.
Schnick, I don't want to cause a scene looking at a dead body. Is that a scene about a dead body? The dead body itself is the scene, Schnick. I don't think people are gonna fucking freak out about you freaking out. I don't know.
I mean, well, people process it in different ways, so I don't think because people would find it okay if I didn't.
My dad was cremated, so I look at the dead body.
I mean, well, sometimes funerals are closed casket, and honestly, those feel better to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, real fast.
I just wanted to quickly say that, yeah, even though a brain tumor was the official cause of death, my sister blamed upstate because, like I said, we were in a place with no AC and it was super hot outside, and I told my sister the official cause of death, but she still thinks that him having to live in those conditions hastened the onset of the tumor.
Okay, real fast before we go to the final topic. So we're talking about births and stuff. My final niece was born a month after my dog died, and I was walking home from school, and I got picked up. My mom and my sister-in-law picked me up, and the doctors were fast. They dropped me off. My sister-in-law left the hospital. An hour later, they called, and my niece was born. And an hour after I left the hospital.
New life, there you go. So therefore, I swear to God, this has been a freaking depressing podcast episode but, I mean, the whole thing with pets is that people process it differently, but you know, one thing you realize is that the people that your family members are the ones that are more irreplaceable.
You know what's funny about that?
Yeah.
That niece that was born then has a 5-year-old now.
Wow.
I already have a great nephew.
Jeez.
That niece. But anyways, our final topic is something that the Great Exposer brought up in chat earlier, and that's another school shooting. So,
great.
So, change the topic. Apparently there's another school shooting somewhere this week. I forget where it was at. You might know where it was at.
Wait, what are we talking about? I'm sorry, I was reading something.
Another school shooting. I forget where it was. I'd look it up, but I read a paper about it, or a news article about it. I can look it up in Google, maybe. I think. Let's see.
Oh God, excuse me.
Oh, Maryland.
That was gross.
It happened in Maryland. Student was this time a student was the shooter.
Oh.
He shot 2 other kids apparently.
You know a recurring thing I see in the chat, in like the comments section of like school shootings that happen. Everyone legislating gun control and whatnot, wanting to make less guns available, and you all know something that people keep bringing up in the freaking comments.
Where?
Guns don't kill people; people do.
Okay.
So in all honesty, that's like something that should be focused a bit more on, making sure that there aren't any crazy people. Putting more freaking money into like mental health care so that there aren't any crazy people to buy the guns in the first place.
Or the crazy kid, because this time it was a kid that had to. How did a 17-year-old get a gun?
Probably stole it from his parents.
Or he's bought off, or maybe he bought off the street.
Maybe.
God. But yeah, another school shooting was like a few weeks after the Florida one, or 2 days after the Florida one. How long ago the Florida one was? So
the Florida one was about a month ago.
Yeah, apparently they're planning some kind of big march to Washington now or something, or a big thing into Washington about this.
Yeah.
Well, are we about to wrap up?
Probably.
But no, well, I feel like I have to show a freaking video of my current dog, because going in freaking redneck mode to like freaking, I showed this on Vandelia's stream, but I feel like I have to show it to showcase how every dog's a new experience. I'm gonna share a screen.
Oh, so this is
Can I share screens and sounds?
I guess we'll show the video and then I'll give my final thoughts. Time to
Don't play this up.
Yes, Mario's gotta get all set up.
Alright,
Echo.
you can go.
I like that little wink he did at the end.
Wait, shot again? I missed it.
Alright, look at his, look at your right. His eye.
That was fucking perfect, dude. Oh my god.
Yep. Like, I swear to God, like, at times he's like a freaking trip, like Vandelia said, especially when he was a baby, he caused a lot of trouble in some videos.
Wow.
Yep.
So no time for the Daily Onion today, Kristen.
I mean, I basically already gave my freaking Daily Onion because he saw how freaking middle school shit. I'll tell you this much, to go back to the death of the boxer, freaking middle school schnick was on full display. As he was in the process of dying, like, middle school schnick was showing all signs of not giving a shit. And when my sister called my dad about it, she was even yelling, "He doesn't care!" And, when in fact I did care, I just felt like the mature, cool thing was not to show signs of it. Like, pretty much the only time my sister almost got me was when she basically shoved a photo of him and her in my face.
Like, the dog loved me more! But anyway.
Oh my god.
So, to wrap this all up, be there for your family, enjoy your pets while you have them, because you never...
Go on. I was going to add on to that.
Okay, because you never know when they might leave you.
And the whole thing is that when your pets do eventually leave you, if you feel the time is right, you can always go get a new one. There's nothing wrong with it, especially since the one thing you should always keep in mind is that every new pet is its own unique adventure. And you'll remember all of them.
Stop shooting up the schools. Let's see. Hopefully, these new video games will have better stories, and they have the new Mario game will have a better story than what it's been having, and they'll fix this whatever's wrong with the Switch WWE game. And finally, welcome back to Daniel Bryan on his wrestling career. We hope you're around for another long while before you have to retire officially again of old age, and not retire from old age and not from another injury. And with that, we'll see you Friday. If you have any ideas for topics, put them in go to our Discord and put them go to our Discord and put them in the topic idea section. And with that, never stop learning and enjoy the randomness. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye-bye.
What are you doing here? Damn video games! Stop! Video games! Holy shit! What are you doing? Stop! Smash! Stop! No! Stop! Smash! No! Oh shit! Oh my god!
I thought I should end with damn video games for the stories.